Hopefully you guys caught the first episode of the Prime Feeling podcast, episode 1. We're on episode 2 now. And honestly, we're just going to go straight into it. Do you have what it takes to be a content creator? And in all honesty, I'm asking myself that too, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And during this discussion, I hope you guys are just thinking to yourselves about, do you have what it takes to be a content creator? Today, we live in a day and age where essentially anyone can be a content creator, really, anyone. But it all depends on what you define. It all depends on what you define as being a content creator. And I think also your motivations for wanting to be a content creator, right? One of my new favorite sayings is feed your passion. And when I say feed your passion, I just mean do whatever you need to do if you are able to do it to feed your passion. So say you want to get in shape, go for a walk, like maybe 30 minutes if you're able to walk. Or if not, go to the gym, or try to look up some things that you can do specifically for yourself that works best for you. Because to be honest, when it comes to being a content creator, you have to really know yourself. You have to be really accountable. You have to make some sacrifices. You have to also just be very, very persistent, honestly. You got to be really persistent. And so for me, I use that gym analogy because, hey, you might be trying to lose some weight, or you might be trying to get in shape, or you might be just trying to have a healthy lifestyle. So you want to do certain things when it comes to fitness in order to satisfy whatever that might be for you. I'll say if you want to get better at cooking, you're probably going to have to cook every day or every week, whatever amount of time you have to devote to cook. You devote that time. Let it be, okay, I'm going to meal prep for a week and make this food, or I'm going to make some food that's going to last like 3 days. We're going to make this, and maybe I'm going to have my friends come over. I'm going to have family come over so that at least I can get some feedback on that. And I'm not going to lie. If they say that baked macaroni and cheese you made was trash, go to the bathroom, cry a little bit, cry about it internally, take a deep breath, and then go back and talk to anyone that's giving you any sort of constructive criticism in general. Try to look for what you can take away from that. Look for what you can take away from that. Instead of just getting emotional like, damn, he said my macaroni and cheese was trash. I done made the macaroni and cheese prior to. I boiled the macaroni, and then I dumped out the water after it was done boiling. I put in the milk, the cheese, some shredded cheese, maybe you like cheddar cheese, maybe you like provolone cheese. Provolone cheese and mac and cheese is a little, I don't want to say it's weird, but I never tried it myself. I'm more of a American cheddar kind of guy. Yeah. But key takeaway, regardless of what it is, regardless of how much time you put into whatever your passion might be, just make sure that it's realistic for you, that you got the time to do it. And yeah, I'm actually going to give you guys this method. I learned this in community college, like back in 2014. And honestly, it's stuck with me ever since. It's been helping me a lot more recently in these recent years, but it's always stuck with me. And it's called the SMART method. The SMART method is essentially, you break it down into a acronym. So S is specific. Be specific about what you want. M is being measurable. Measure what you want to do. Measure what it looks like you want to do in whatever way that makes sense for you. A, is it attainable? Can you achieve this? Is this really attainable? Because let's be for real. Just like anybody else that's a small YouTuber that you don't at least have 1,000 subscribers like myself. I'm currently at, I believe I'm at 53 subscribers right now. But just like anybody else, if you believe in yourself and you really believe your content is like that, yeah, you might be like, yeah, I want to have the biggest channel. Right? And in order to get that biggest channel, you have to do the work. You can't have the biggest channel. If I said I want to have 1,000 subscribers by tomorrow, do you know what type of stuff I probably have to do to get 1,000 subscribers by tomorrow? And also how potentially unrealistic that might be. Just think about that. Me personally, I do gaming videos. and I've done reviews. Mainly it's been more so just gaming and some reviews here and there, right? Just like discussions about TV shows or movies, right? When I tell you, if I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers tomorrow by doing that, if I made like, let's say I made like a clip for my most recent Spider-Man 2 live stream, or like a few of my recent ones. So let's say that's like 3 vids, right? And then let's say I go back to my House of Dragons season 2 review, or my Boys season 4 episode 8 review, and I want to clip that up, right? I can clip it up and put that on all my socials so that I can just saturate the market and get what I want out of that. But realistically, I know that that's not going to necessarily work for you. It might. I'm not trying to speak to specifically what you might want to do, but you just have to really think about what is really attainable. And then we're going to go to the next part of the acronym, the R of SMART. Is this realistic? Can you realistically do this thing? Can you realistically attain this goal? You know, the SMART goal. And that's what we'll call it, a SMART goal, a SMART goal. And a SMART goal doesn't have to be one thing. Just like if you're like me, and we're going to kind of more so talk more towards being a content creator, specifically when it comes to at least what I'm doing. I stream on YouTube and I stream on Twitch, right? When it comes to those two specific things, my SMART goal doesn't necessarily have to be, okay, I want to stream once a week. I want to post a video once a week. But it's a good starting point. It's a good starting point. And that's kind of where it has to, where we can kind of break it down. As far as for me, my SMART goal for this week would be, okay, I want to stream the next part of my Spider-Man 2 gameplay. All right. So I'm going to live stream that. That is specifically what I want to do. In order to measure that, I would measure, okay, how long is it going to take me to do this? How much work do I need to put in order to do this? For me, my measurability, whatever metric you want to use for that, I already have my setup. I have my laptop, I have my mic, I have my game system, I have my monitors, I have my setup ready. So all I really have to do is maybe make a thumbnail for YouTube specifically. Prior to, I've been liking to do that to kind of increase the chances of like someone catching something that they like if they see me streaming and be able to pull up. And then when it comes to attainable, I've done it plenty times before. And also it's attainable because I know I'm only going to devote maybe 2 hours at most, because that's realistically all I can do, right? And as far as the time frame of that, like, it just depends on what time you want to do it. Let's say I wanted to stream Spider-Man 2 on a Monday, right? If I want to stream Spider-Man 2 on a Monday, I'm probably realistically, if my partner is working that day and I'm home with my child, I will probably say, hey, whenever my daughter is napping, that'll be the time that I will devote that time. Usually she has like about 2.5 hour nap, something like that. So in my mind, I'm going to say, okay, let's try to aim for at most a 2 hour stream, but an hour and a half is a nice little cutoff. It gives me 30 minutes to kind of wind down and get ready to get back into fatherhood, right? And yeah, that's an example of a SMART goal right there. I hope that helps you guys out. Y'all let me know in the comment section if you are. Feel free to hit the like button. It ain't nothing to hit the like button. That's like, if I wanted to pressure y'all to do anything, hit the like button. At least hit the like button. I could care less about subscribing unless you really fuck with me. I can speak to some of the experiences that you're going through. And I'm probably more so when it comes to the people that might want to watch this or listen to this. I might cater towards like what my audience would be like smaller content creators, or maybe someone that just wants to hear like about how is it worth being a content creator? What is it like to be a content creator, right? And going into that a little bit more now, right? We're going to kind of go a little bit deeper into this. Yeah. So now that we got the SMART goal, you have to be smart about what you want to do. You have to really think about what it's all going to look like. But first of all, you just have to do it. You have to do it. It's sometimes better if you're like me, where you struggle with overthinking, sometimes paralysis by analysis, and you love mental, gosh, it's something me and my cousin have been saying, But let's just call it let's call it the mental gassing it up. Like gassing, like you gas yourself up because you're like, oh, I'm so pumped up, I can make this video. Oh, I'm so pumped up, I'm about to make like 10 videos. Oh, I'm so pumped up, I'm a be monetized by a year from now. I'm speaking to existence. But that might be your mindset. But you got to do it. You know, if you're struggling, and I'm being for real, it might sound really bad, but like if you're struggling with just trying to come up with a smart goal, you don't need a smart goal in order to get started. Just get started. If say, for example, you are a gamer that's listening to me right now and you want to make a gaming channel, what I would say is, hey, get everything together that you need in order to get started. This isn't really going to be a how to do this and that, but for me, my setup is I have my MacBook that I use to stream or record on OBS, and then, I feel like I got a sneeze coming on. I'm gonna pause if I really do have the sneeze, or y'all might just catch it in the mic. I don't know. But for example, if you're a gamer and you want to start a gaming channel, first make sure that you have a game that you want to play. Make sure that you have internet. Obviously, you don't really need a camera. Honestly, if you have a phone, you could really record yourself on your phone. Like, make it super simple. Make it super simple. You don't have to be complicated. Or if you got money, buy something nice. Like for me, I have a MacBook. I've had this MacBook for a couple of years now, and I've been using it like to stream and record. Personally, I wish I could have a gaming PC. But it's different levels. This is what I was able to work with because I just already had it and it's been working fine for me. I also have a Blue Yeti mic. I got that because that's what I heard what you need. So when I was working, I was like, hey, let me get this mic, you know? And I did, and I got some of the equipment already. But if you want to start off simple, just to kind of get started, start off with what you got. And don't even think about, if you're like, hey, say you already got all this stuff and you just want to live stream. Don't think about someone coming to watch you, and think about yourself. Think about yourself and how you want to approach your content. Learn as you go. That first stream or that first gameplay, just what works best for me is just start it and just narrate. I'm playing Spider-Man 2 right now, and it is a replay. Like both of my Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 gameplays are like a replay. So I've already played it before, but I'm doing the new Game Plus version, except now I got all the powers and abilities and stuff, and I'm playing on the highest difficulty, which is Ultimate. And even through those gameplays, those playthroughs, I have just tried to narrate. I try to act like I'm Peter. I'm like, MJ, why you look different between Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2? What happened to you? Something happened to you when you went to Simcaria. You got surgery or something? You look a little funny. You know what I'm saying? Like just poking fun at the fact that, like, that's just an example. Poking the fun at the fact that myself, and I'm sure a lot of people that have played Spider-Man 2 are questioning, why does MJ look different? She looked better in the first game visually. Now she kind of looks like she got bad plastic surgery and she's in her 20s. Like, what happened to her? You know? And so that's kind of my approach, and you kind of have to find what your approach is going to be, but that is a good baseline to kind of start off sometimes. And that's kind of what I learned from even watching some gamers that I watch today and prior to even starting my journey. So I say when it comes to that, if you're doing a gaming video, take that approach. But yeah, take that approach. I would say if you're doing a review, same thing. One thing that works best for me, what I can speak to is when it comes to my gaming videos, that's what works best for me. When it comes to my reviews, I'm a yapper. I would love to just make like a 1-hour video for y'all, for my audience, for anyone that might be interested in watching my stuff. But that is a big time commitment, and to a certain degree, you kind of have to be realistic. I don't want to scare, like, I'm not freaking, who's a good reviewer? I'm not freaking, if I want to do a review on The Accolade, which got canceled, thank God. Oh, I'm glad they canceled that. Oh, we can talk about that. We can talk about that in another episode or a video even on my channel. But if I wanted to do a video on that, I'm not Star Wars theory, but that's okay. It's okay. I don't have to be Star Wars theory, but I have to find my own approach if I want to do a review for that. What works best for me is like I said, I'm a yapper. So I kind of like to do bullet points. I don't necessarily have a script. I kind of just know, okay, this is the intro that I'm going to go with. I've been recently trying to just look at what my intro is going to be. Hey guys, what's up? Today's video is going to be about blah, blah, blah. Star Wars Acolyte getting canceled. But before we get into it, if you're happy like me, hit that like button, hit the like button for freaking Kamir and Master Soul, the best characters. Like, just an example of something like that. And I hope y'all can take something away from that, right? Now, when it comes to like reaction content, sorry, let's not jump to reaction content yet. That's the last thing I want to talk about for reviews, right? So you kind of have to have an idea of like what you want to do. I personally like to do the whole bullet point. I even like the idea of, hey, do a MLA format, like college essay sort of thing. You have your intro, then you have your thesis statement, and your thesis statement point out maybe 2 or 3 things, at least that you want to. I say 2 or 3 things. I'm used to doing the 3 topics. That's what I'm used to from going to college. So do your 3 topics, right? Do your 3 topics that you want to talk about. And then those 3 topics are going to be your body paragraph. So the first paragraph is going to be about like, what was Acolyte good? Second paragraph. Or what was good about the Acolyte? Second paragraph. So the first paragraph is what was good about the Acolyte. Second paragraph, what wasn't good about it. Third paragraph, why did it get canceled? Like you can kind of do that. This ain't college though. You have your own structure of what you want to do and you figure out what works best for you. Genuinely, like be accountable. Think about if you did a 1-hour video and you feel great, energized, maybe that's something you have to do. Maybe you got to make 1-hour videos, but then I would probably suggest it might be good to clip it up or maybe like cut it in half or into different parts so that it makes it easier for the viewer if you're watching on YouTube, if you're putting this video out on YouTube, when it comes to that. And adding chapters, other detailed stuff like that will help as well. But if you feel like, hey, I'm going to do a 10-minute review on why the Acolyte got canceled, if I wanted to do that, you can do that too. Just find out what works best for you. Now, when it comes to reaction videos, I actually started my channel on gaming. You thought I was going to say I started my channel on reaction videos. I was about to say that too. It's like, yeah, nah. But that did come along in that way. And I tried to make sure when I do my reaction videos, I always try to make sure that my reaction videos reflect myself. They reflect what I like to watch. Like naturally. Of course, there's going to be some stuff that's, let's just say newsworthy in the sense that it's news. Like this is new. Not like, oh, there's a new trailer for Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero or there's a new trailer for Black Ops 6. I mean, like just something popped up and you weren't expecting it. Like just regardless, just try to focus on, see, even myself, like I'm learning to kind of get better at focusing on what we're trying to talk about or what I'm trying to talk about in my videos and this podcast and try not to get too distracted from what we're talking about. But yeah, so reaction videos. So when it comes to the reaction videos, I try to just make sure it aligns with what I like to do, what I like to watch, make it make sense. I don't want to necessarily, in my opinion, sometimes the perk of being the small YouTuber is that it's a cheat code, low key. In a way, it can be a cheat code because no one's really checking for me like that. And that's okay. Y'all will be. I promise you will be in the future. But that's okay. No one's really checking for me like that, like heavy, So with no one really checking for me like that, I can be more experimental of how I want to approach my reaction videos versus how a Tyrone Magnus approaches his reaction videos, or Dwayne and Jazz approaches their reaction videos, or I'm Dante approaches his reaction videos, right? You can take a different approach. You can even take some inspiration from them. Me personally, I'd like to say that a lot of the people that I watch to a certain degree, a lot of people on YouTube we all do the same stuff. We all do too, right? I know you do. I did this morning after that coffee. Pause. That ain't really a pause. My bad, y'all. I didn't mean to gross y'all out. But those were kind of my inspirations in a way. Like, or you could say I could use those as inspirations for my reaction videos, in the sense of like, okay, this is the format that they do. I like how they have theirs formatted. I want to kind of take that approach. And I'm not going to lie, when it comes to a lot of what you're doing on YouTube too, if you like, this is just a side tangent. If you are feeling demotivated, you feel like you can't do what you need to do because there's all this, block it all out. Block it all out. I remember the first time I saw Kai Cenat. It was like 2020, and I remember I think Aiden Ross had like a E-Date thing or whatever. I remember DDG being on the E-Date thing for that content, and then so was Kai. Kai was cool. Kai was like, I didn't know of Kai back then, but from what I took from him, I'm like, oh, this guy is cool. And then more and more, I start to see him more and more in Aiden's videos. And then here we are now with Kai Cenat. Like, you never really know of how you get introduced to someone. You just have to take that. I want that to be the takeaway for y'all, that no, you don't have to be Kai Cenat, but no one really knows what your journey is going to look like outside of yourself, really. You just got to kind of keep going. Because I didn't think nothing of him. Kai was good. Kai does not even know I exist right now. You know what I mean? But I just say all that to say, you never know. You never know. You just got to keep trying, honestly. And try to find what works best for you. But with the reaction videos, you got to just kind of find your own unique style. Obviously, with that, you can react to stuff on your phone, honestly. I've come to find out since I've been on YouTube now that a lot of people actually do react on their phones sometimes. I would hate that personally. Like, it's my dirty ass iPhone. I got a dirty ass iPhone 14 Pro Max. But hey, I love it though still. But I love it. I do appreciate my phone, but at the same time too, I don't want to react to videos on my phone, because I try to have a blend of how can I enjoy this and how can my viewers enjoy this? How can people who are going to come across my video enjoy this, right? So personally, that's not my thing. It's not my thing to really do that. But if that's all I had and I really want to do this, yeah, react on your phone. But you get your phone, you start that video, you put on your headphones, you screen record on your iPhone. If you have an iPhone, I'm not sure if Androids have screen record. I'm sure they would do. I'm sure they would though. I'm sure they would. But you just do that and that's your reaction video right there, you know? And if that's something you always want to stick to doing, you stick to doing that. Or if you eventually want to get more money, or if you are working too, if YouTube's not your main thing, because also I'm speaking to small YouTubers, right? A lot of the stuff I got was from working. I didn't get this from YouTube. YouTube didn't give me this. Like, I got this myself. So I say the same for y'all. If you can afford it and get whatever feels right for you and feels right for your channel and what you want to do or your content, like, do that honestly. And just like that, you can do reaction videos now. I'm oversimplifying some of these things. I'm not going into technical details or anything like that, but that's how I would do it if I didn't have my MacBook. Now on my MacBook, there's a specific app or website I use. And if any of y'all are MacBook users and you're interested in doing reaction videos and you like to use it, just let me know and I can put it in the comment section or anything like that. But I use this specific software. I think it's called Black Hole. Actually. I think it's called Black Hole. But I use that just for the audio, because on the MacBook, if you use OBS and you try to record a reaction, your desktop audio is not going to pick up on the video audio. But for me, in my head, I care about the viewer's listening experience, also visual experience, obviously, because I'm making videos, but I also care about the listener's listening experience. So when I do my reaction videos, I always use that, and I can kind of maybe do a separate video to kind of just show y'all how it works. It can be super brief and all that, but I do that just so that the audio from the video doesn't hit the mic. Now, granted, in my mind, I always was thinking that I never tested it out either. That's the thing too. Please, if you're doing content, Practice recording just for fun. Whenever you have some free time in the day, just practice recording. You don't even have to treat it like it's a video you're going to put out. Just practice recording. That's what's kind of worked for me at times too. I intentionally record a lot more of the time, but I feel like I'd be a lot better at what I'm doing right now if I did a lot more practice recordings. But I highly recommend doing it when you have the free time. But when it comes to doing the reaction videos, that was my approach. I use that so that the audio, any other audio, doesn't really get caught in the mic and kind of messes up the overall video's listening experience, I want to say. But I never tested it out because also there's people that I watch that do reaction videos too, and they don't use headphones or anything, but they might not use a Mac. But that's just speaking to my Mac experience. And yeah, you can use your mic to pick up on the reaction video that you are reacting to, but for myself, that's how I like to do it. I'm kind of a little bit nitpicky, somewhat, but I feel like that's what it takes. That's what it takes when you want to be a content creator. And I just gave 3 examples with the reactions, reviews, gaming. I think that's what it takes to be a content creator, in my opinion, and that's what y'all should probably do. I just gave you some examples of what you can do, but honestly, when it comes down to it, it's all on you. It really is all on you and what you can do realistically. Be realistic. I don't care if we're just talking content creation or just some passion that you want to feed yourself. Be realistic. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I promise you, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But if you are accountable and you can be reflective and just be honest with yourself, and write it down too. Write it down. Like, if you feel like you need to write down what are you trying to do that. Whatever is going to work to get you to where you need to go so that you can get started on following your passion, feeding your passion, right? I think that's what it takes. You have to really, really be accountable. Like, full transparency, you can see it on my channel. My first YouTube video went up like in 2021. I did my first 2 videos were my first video was on Titans. I don't even want to go back to that, but one day we'll revisit that. We'll definitely revisit that. But it was about Titans season 3 going into season 4 or something like that. I probably cringe looking at that, but at the same time too, I'm happy to see I've grown. I've learned some things, and I'm happy to say that, right? Consistency is key too. You can't take no breaks. I would say just try your best to, I don't care if posting once a week is what you need to do, streaming once a week is what you need to do. I promise you. I don't want to say it ain't shit to post or stream once a week. Streaming is a little bit more intricate. You have to when it comes to gaming, it's in my opinion, it's not that complicated. You just have to learn as you go. And you can apply that with everything. Learn as you go. Don't think that, hey, when I put out this one video for the week and I don't get any views, or I get a little engagement, or I get a lot of engagement, whatever. Just have one thing that you're really focusing on, so that you can and I wish I had said this earlier in the episode, but just have one thing that you are focusing on that is going to really work for you realistically. I myself, I have a little free time here and there, so I have been trying to just post and stream, and now recording this new podcast when I have the time to record it, right? You have to really have a game plan. And although you're not going to make money off YouTube starting off, if you're passionate about it, I would say take the business approach. And when that business is very general, and we can talk about this in another video sometime in the future, if this is something you guys want to hear more about, I can definitely do that for y'all. But you have to take this business approach. And I'll put it in simple terms, right? So when it comes to the business approach of doing all of this, I would say that it is somewhat pivotal if you really care about this in the grand scheme. Like, if you don't want to treat this as, okay, we're going to treat this from week to week, have a plan. We're going to post every Monday or every Friday or every Saturday, whichever day of the week. We're going to post every day of the week. Start off with that. See if you can actually post for a month. In my opinion, that's what I think. See if you can post for a month on whatever specific day you want to stick to, but stick to that day the best you can. And then eventually have a time. Shoot, if you can do everything all at once, have a time that you want to post, have a specific day you want to post, that's half the work. That's half the work. All you have to do is do it. Honestly, that's all it takes. Just do it. Like the quote Nike. Corny, I know, but it's true. It's true. That's just one of the things that has always stuck out to me when I'm feeling down or just drained from paralysis by paralysis, blah, 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 blah. Like when I'm feeling that, sometimes you just have to force yourself to do it to break out of certain things. I remember one of the streamers that I still watch to this day / YouTubers, physical gamers. Y'all know Easy Gang, some bros. If y'all know, you know. But I remember watching one of his streams back in 2020. I want to say it was 2020, early 2020, maybe late 2019. I was rewatching one of his streams. And someone had asked, "Hey PG, how do you get started on YouTube?" And I promise you, this is a core. This is damn near like a muscle core memory. Like I will never forget that. He literally just said, "Just do it." It's that simple, you know. It really is. I really want to really emphasize: don't overcomplicate simple things. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just get started, and then go from there. Learn as you go. Learn what works for you, what doesn't work. And I think that's going to be something that helps when it comes to motivation. I mean, shoot, hopefully I'm motivating you guys from just doing this. But no, in all seriousness, when it comes to motivation, whether it's your faith or whether it's your friends motivating you, whether you're doing this with someone else, whether you have a child and your child is your motivation, find your motivation. Whether it's, hey, I want to just be able to look back in a year from now and be like, I posted videos every Friday for a year and I did it. I didn't take no breaks. It was nothing, because a year from now, you're going to feel like it was probably nothing if this is something you really want to do. But if not, then maybe it might not be worth it for you. But I don't want to be a negative person and say, hey, you're not built for this. I'm just saying, be realistic and be accountable. If you got to talk to other people around you to find out, like, do that. I'm 28 years old. I've tried my best to be accountable for at least since I've been 21. I like being like consciously accountable for my actions. Like I've been learning to be a lot more conscious of my actions and what I'm doing. And yeah, I just say all that to say this is where I'm at now. I don't necessarily need to talk to friends or family to be held accountable, but there's still a few I can count on one hand that I'm like, at least two that I can talk to and they'll give me the feedback that I need, even if it's not what I need or not what I want to hear. Like I said earlier in this episode, just be open to criticism. Really be open to criticism. I know it's hard, especially when you're a small YouTuber. Regardless of where you're at, just be open to it. Now, if it's some bullshit, someone talking about, listen, just yo, what? Block them. That's all you can do. Don't pull up on them. It's not worth it. Just block them. Block the negativity. But I think that's what it's worth to become a content creator. You have to take some of these approaches that I've talked about, and there's plenty of others out there. But honestly, just start. Just do it. Learn as you go. Be accountable. Think about what works best for you. And I honestly think if you can stick to these things and you find the time that works best for you to make your content, I think it'll work out for you. I think it will. But you have to learn as you go. We'll talk more about that in future episodes. But yeah, this is the Prime Feeling.